Before we talk about the man or the ghost, we need to talk about the world he was born into. Because you cannot understand Satoshi Nakamoto without first understanding what he was angry about. It is the year 2008. The global financial system, the greatest machine ever built for accumulating wealth, is falling apart. In September of that year, Lehman Brothers, one of the largest investment banks in the world, collapses overnight. Just gone. 150 years of history erased in a weekend. Millions of ordinary people who had saved their whole lives, people who had done everything right, watch their homes get repossessed, their retirement funds wiped out, their savings vanished. And what happens to the men who caused it? The government gives them more money. Billions of dollars. Trillions, eventually, printed out of thin air, handed to the very institutions that burned everything down, and the people who lit the match walk away with bonuses. This is the world that Satoshi Nakamoto is watching. And somewhere, in a room we will never find, in a city we will never know, someone is writing code. But to understand where that code came from, we need to go back even further. We need to go back to the 1970s, to a world of mainframes and university corridors, and a radical idea that mathematics could be a weapon of freedom. In 1976, two electrical engineers, Whitfield Diffie and Martin Hellman, publish a paper that changes everything. It introduces the concept of public key cryptography. In plain language, a mathematical way for two strangers to communicate in complete secrecy, even if someone is listening to every word. Think about what that means. For the first time in human history, an ordinary person could encrypt their message in a way that not even governments, not even the most powerful intelligence agencies in the world could break. This idea does not stay in university journals. It spreads. It finds its way to a specific group of people, brilliant, paranoid, idealistic people who call themselves the cypherpunks. The cypherpunks are not your typical computer nerds. They meet in San Francisco in the early 1990s, in living rooms and on mailing lists. And they share a philosophy that sounds almost radical, even today. They believe that privacy is not a luxury. It is a right. And they believe the only way to protect that right is not through laws, not through protest, but through code. Their motto: cypherpunks write code. Among them are names that will matter to our story. There is Hal Finney, a quiet, brilliant cryptographer from California, a man who sees further than almost anyone around him. There is Nick Szabo, a computer scientist who, in 1998, imagines a hypothetical digital currency. He calls it BitGold. It never launches, but the blueprint, eerily familiar. There is Wei Dai, who that same year publishes a theoretical paper proposing a system of money that cannot be regulated by governments. He calls it B-money. And there is Adam Back, a British cryptographer who, in 1997, invents something called Hashcash, a proof-of-work system, a mathematical puzzle that computers must solve before doing certain things. Originally designed to stop email spam. But its true destiny? Something much, much bigger. These are the shoulders that Satoshi Nakamoto would stand on. For decades, the cypherpunks try to build digital money. They try again and again. And every single time they fail. Not because the cryptography isn't good enough, but because of one impossible problem: the double spend problem. Here is the dilemma. If I have $1 in my pocket and I hand it to you, it is gone from my pocket. Simple, physical, real. But a digital file? I can copy a digital file. I can send it to you and still have it myself. I can send it to 100 people simultaneously. So how do you stop someone from spending the same digital coin twice? The answer, up until this point, has always been the same: a trusted middleman, a bank, a company, a central authority that keeps the ledger, watches every transaction and says, "You already spent that." But that middleman, that is the problem, because that middleman can be pressured, corrupted, hacked, shut down, manipulated by governments, seized, bailed out. The cypherpunks know they need to solve this without a middleman. For 30 years, no one can figure out how, until someone does. We do not know exactly when it starts. Satoshi Nakamoto will later say that work on the code began in the second quarter of 2007, quietly, alone, or perhaps not alone, in a room no one will ever find. For over a year, while the world argues about mortgages and credit default swaps and the price of oil, someone is building something in secret. And on August 18th, 2008, a domain name is registered: bitcoin.org.